Aspiring comic book artists, pay attention. I'm here with Mr. Jordan D. White at the Marvel booth at C2E2. He's the portfolio review, what do you say, mastermind?
No.
Puppet master.
I'm one of the Marvel's editors, and whenever we do a con like this, we do portfolio reviews looking at art from all the aspiring artists who come here wanting to get a job at Marvel.
So break it down for people out there who have maybe never been to a Comic-Con and had a portfolio review, but they would like to.
Sure. What we tend to do is, at your typical 3-day con, on the Friday, people can come in and they can drop off the portfolio reviews. The following morning, we'll have posted a list, having gone through all the portfolios dropped off the previous day. We'll post a list saying, here's the people we'd like to talk to, and the times we want to talk to them. They come in, and then we meet with them one-on-one, and we go over the artwork with them, and we say to them, what we think is strong about their art, what they need to work on, what we'd like to see from them in the future, give them encouragement, things like that. And once in a while, sometimes we get people who are terrific, and we'll actually just hire them.
And that's amazing. So you've seen people grow over the different cons as the cons go on, and how does that you encourage them and they bring a portfolio back, and you've seen they've taken your notes and move forward?
Sure, but I would say both that. Sometimes we'll see them at another con months later or years later. Sometimes we'll give them our contact information, and we'll say, as you work on more things and as you grow as an artist, send us more samples, and we'd love to see what you're doing, and we'll keep up with them that way.
And what are some of the things that you would see in someone's work that would make you want to keep in touch with them in that way?
That's a good question. A lot of times there's a kind of a je ne sais quoi, a spark to it that you can't.
That's a French phrase, je ne sais quoi, that Mr. White used. For those of you that don't speak French out there.
It means I don't know what.
Yeah.
It's just a fancy way of saying I don't know.
Well, no, I understand that. There's a certain, anything creative, there's a certain, spark, perhaps. It's very hard to define, but it makes oh, this is something I want to see more of.
Right.
So that's hard to give advice about.
It is slightly difficult, but there tends to be, an energy. One of the things I like, there are also the things that are important for strong artists at Marvel. The ability to tell a story, the ability to depict an environment that is believable and real, the ability to show movement and action, even though, of course, they're drawing still pictures. All of that combines with that excitement to be okay, this is an artist who's actually got something. And if they're missing any of those things or other things, we can say, well, work on those and then get back to us, because what you're doing is interesting. It's just not quite there yet.
Does it ever come down to voice or take? Do you like the artist to have a strong voice when it comes to the characters and a take on them, or more just taking what is already pre-existing and drawing it their way?
I would say both can work to your advantage or disadvantage, but it depends on what your take is and what that voice is. A lot of times we will get samples from people who we look at them and we go, well, these are really good samples, but I don't know what Marvel property we would put these samples on. I don't know what book we would have drawn this way. This is not the Marvel superhero style, which is not to say we have a specific house style, right. But you know what I mean. If someone was drawing a My Little Pony book and they brought us those as their sample, we go, well, you did a very nice job drawing My Little Pony, but we don't know how that applies to Iron Man.
My Little Iron Man? Something, maybe?
He's got enough suits that could work.
Exactly.
Right?
His pony suit.
But that being said, if someone has a distinct voice, we do want to see that. We want to know what it is that you're going to bring, so that we know whether that's a thing we want brought.
Nice. Are there any artists currently working on Marvel books that you met through this process?
Oh, gosh.
That you can think of?
On the spot.
It's a tough question, I know.
Not that I can think of off the top of my head, but I do know that it has happened in the past. Yeah.
Are there any real don'ts? What are the things that'll get someone's portfolio just immediately rejected is the wrong word, but taken out of consideration?
That's also a very good question. I would say, well, first of all, if you're a penciler who is looking to work on comic books, not having sequential story art is always a mistake. Now, that's different, obviously, for colorists or for cover artists, especially people who want to do painted covers or stuff like that. But if you want to be drawing interiors, you've got to have interiors to show us. Doing a bunch of pinups will show us that yes, you can draw, but that's only half of telling
Can't
a
tell
story.
a story, maybe.
Exactly. That's only half of the process. So that's the most important thing.
And any formatting issues that someone trying to put their portfolio together, something you could tell them that would really get them in the right direction?
If you've done a diverse amount of work, show us different kinds of things. Show us that you can do different moods and different tones. And as I said before, know your audience. If you're looking to get a job at Marvel, if you've got samples that are Marvel give us those, and also never give us the original art because you're never going to get it back.
Well, that's great. That's a great piece of advice. Well, awesome. Thanks for talking with us. And you guys out there, draw hard. Is that good advice?
Draw as hard as possible. Break the pencils.
Just break perforations, holes in the work, anything to show that you're really drawing hard. Thanks, and stay tuned for plenty more from C2E2.